level, and what are the problems we encounter while converting our innovation to a startup, and all these issues. And also, I request Kaushik sir to start the session.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Good morning,
So,
sir.
good morning, sir. So, good morning to all of you, all the faculty, IIC in charges, and the startups and students. Very happy to see three colleges coming together and doing this panel discussion on startups, accelerators, and incubators. I represent Vishnu Foundation TBI. We have certain funds for the startups. Before telling that, I can see the student startups from the colleges who are participating in this discussion, which is motivation for all the students because they're also students. They were also undergone academic load. Though they have academic loads, they have went ahead and then they started their startup journey. That's what the motivation we want to give to all the students who are present here. So coming to Vishnu Foundation TBI, we are a Section 8 company supported by Department of Science and Technology. We have funds from Startup India as well as Nidhi Startup Seed Support Program. So in Nidhi SSP, it's an investment kind of fund where any startup can apply to us. We can invest in that startup up to 25 to 30 lakhs against some equity, which is very less as per the market standards, because we want to attract good startups. So our equity levels are very, very less when compared to any other incubator in the country. And at the same time, we have Startup India Seed Fund Scheme also, where startups can apply for grant. Grant is the fund which is used for developing the prototypes for any startup. And we have investment component also. The investment component is used for the startups who are in the market stage, where they have MVP and they have initial customers for their product. So those are the startups who are eligible to apply for the investment. So the ticket size would be, for the grant, it is up to 20 lakhs. And for investment, it is up to 50 lakhs. Again, in the investment, we have three things like convertible notes, equity based, or any debt based. So if it is debt based, so the interest will be accrued. It is as per the repo rate of the government. So this is what about Vishnu Foundation TBI and the funds which will help the startups to apply and then grow their organization. Coming to the students who are participating here. So for the students, there are many seed fund kind of grants are available from institutions like IIT Hyderabad, IIT Madras, and all big institutions who are collaborating with private organizations like Greenco and get their CSR funds to help the student innovators, right? So last time also, from all the institutions like Vishnu Institute of Technology, BVRIT, Women's Campus, and then BVRIT Narsapur campus, also students have applied for these programs and they have got 1 lakh as a prototype grant to develop their prototype. So for the students also, nowadays, companies and incubators are coming forward and giving prototype funds to develop the prototypes, right? And at the same time, startups have different avenues. As I said, it is Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, Nidhi SSP, even Nidhi EIR program is one thing which will be very useful for the startups, young startups. EIR stands for Entrepreneur in Residence, where you can apply. Once you get selected, per month you will get 30,000 as stipend, and at the same time you can utilize the facilities of the incubator. This is one good program for the young entrepreneurs to utilize. And there are the seed fund also is there, which is used prototype grant, which will be given as 7 lakhs per startup, up to 7 lakhs. That is also very good for hardware startups who wants to apply. Other than these funds, even HDFC comes up with some programs like Parivartan and all, where sustainable startups, if any sustainable startups are there in this session, who are working on sustainability, they will get funds from HDFC Parivartan. There are incubators who have been selected for this. So startups who are working in sustainability can avail those funds. Like this, there are so many government funds. If you are an MSME, banks will give funds. If you are a women entrepreneur, you have certain funds. Because nowadays, even government wants to encourage women to come and start their startups. So women entrepreneurs will have so many benefits if you start a company. Women can be a founder or co-founder. You have tax benefits. You have low debt, low repo rate debt funds are available for women entrepreneurs. So it is always encouraged. Even for the college IIC presidents, my request is to encourage women students to start their companies and avail all these benefits. So if they are MSME, the loans have increased to 10 crores and all, if you are in manufacturing unit. Likewise, even all the colleges who are participating now, everybody are MSME incubator. Even MSME incubators are giving either it is VIT, it is BVRIT Women's Campus or BVRIT Narsapur Campus. All three of them are MSME incubators. Any startups who are present here, you can apply for these incubators and you can also get 15 lakhs fund for your prototype. This is grant, I'm telling you. So getting grants is very difficult, but if the opportunity is there, I urge all the startups or student innovators to avail these funds so that it will help you to build your product at least to the MVP level. Once you are in the MVP level, once you have traction, always you have opportunity to raise funds from the incubators through government, or you can always approach angels or venture capitalists to fund your startup. So with this small introduction, I request Dr. Nasim Raju sir to start the panel discussion with the startups who are available here. Thank you.
So thank you, sir. Sir, a question on you. First question is on you. If any of our startups who are there in this room, if they want to collaborate with Vishwa TBI, then how come you TBI will be helpful and what way to the
Sure.
startups?
Sure. So what we have done is, because we live in tier 3 city, Bhimavaram, we don't have any stringent rules for any startup to apply. We have a simple membership form. So any startup who wants to apply, they have to fill the membership form. And if they are student entrepreneurs, actually the membership costs like per year 10,000, right? It's not even 1,000 per month. But for student startups, we have made it zero, right? Any student startup who wants to apply for Vishnu Foundation, the membership form is zero for them. After 1 year, if they're in good position, then they might be asked to pay for some this thing. Coming to space, also for student entrepreneurs, we are not charging space cost for at least 4 to 5 months. So this is how we made it very easy. A simple Google form, a simple membership form can be filled, okay, to get associated with our incubator. Suppose if we are raising funds for the incubator, then the agreement comes into picture, because any investment has an agreement. It can be a term sheet, it can be a convertible note, or whatever it is. Then the agreement starts. So that simple it is.
Then shall we start panel discussion, sir, with your permission?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah. My question is, what inspired you to start your company? This question is on Vishnu. He is CEO of Vishnu Spare startup. So I request Vishnu to address this question. What inspired you to start your company, and what problem or gap in the market that you set out to address? Vishnu?
Thank you, sir. Good morning, all. I am Vishnu Vardhan, founder CEO of Business Spire LLP. Uh, what made me to start my company is like lack of uh, plastic waste in the society. So I observed that many people are throwing plastic pet bottles here and there, and like they are not responsible for the plastic thing what they are throwing. So what I thought of it like, why can't I bring a reward system, like where we can digitalize the coupons in any sector, like whether they want coupons in uh, painting, or they want in furniture, they want in whatever thing they want to need in a coupon way, we can why can't we digitalize that? Like we have created a vending machine, and like we are gathering all the pet bottles together and giving them in digital coupons where they can use for daily uses. So what made me inspired, like Why the thing which is running in my mind is, why can't I solve a problem which I have observed? Is it a big thing? That question raised in my mind, and I started working on my startup. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And sir, this is a question on Dr. Gayatri Sharman, CEO of VC Tech Sol. Sir, why most of the startups are failing in these days?
First of all, I would like hello, am I audible, sir? So, good morning to one and all. First, I would like to thanks to our IICCL chairman, sir, Narsimha sir, and Dr. Kaushik sir, and Ashwin sir, and all the supporting member to support my with Texol startup company. Actually, Narsim sir asked the question about why most of the startups are failed. My answer is there are so many factors that will influence the failure of the startups. The first three important things that we can kept in the mind to overcome these problems, then the startup will success. The failures of the startup is, first one is the lack of market needs. That means actually we are having a thoughts regarding some productization like that, but those products are not actually needed by the target customers. So we does not think about in the direction. Only we are thinking in our direction only. We are solving the taking the problem and solving the problems. We are getting the products or services. So these are not actually not required by the customers or target people. That is a very one most important point kept in the mind for every startup people. Next one is running out of the cash. This is the very most important point that can remember every startup people. So running out of the cash because of most of the startup companies are invested early for the prototype development. So at the end of the prototype development, the cash will be evaporated. That means there is no cash for the your, productization, and we are having some other ways, but unnecessarily use the startup money that granted money is wasted in so many other things, so that the money will be evaporated. And also and poor business model. Due to the poor business model, the cash flow will be running out of the cash. That means they are not correctly running the business. They are not generating the revenue in their business model. So this is also another point. And whenever any competitors are raised, then at that moment they are not stabilizing their business, because we must get we must compete with the other companies. We must sustain for the competition. We are having a competition skills and strong business models and strong revenue generations. All these things that will lead to compete with other business companies. And another one is ineffective marketing. So we must follow the effective marketing strategies, and we can lack of that strategies, automatically we can that startup will be failure. And next one is team issues. That is very important. Team coordination is very most important in the startup companies. So coordination issues, or any decision making issues, or any type of team coordination is very important. The likewise mind structure people can get start the business, then only it will be success. Otherwise they are disputes are arising between the people changes. So some startup companies like healthcare systems or transportations, the government changes the regulatory authorities that changes the regulations. So due to that, these startup companies have some sort of struggles. So immediately you can make the changes in their startup companies only they can be withstand. Otherwise, due to the regulatory changes, it will startup will be failure and poor timing. So it's very important to launch our products in time to launch the market. So if you are poor timing means you are early launching the product or delayed launching the product, that will lead to the revenue will be less in. So it is a poor timing, and next one is burnout between the founders and co-founders because of some high pressures, lack of poor decision making or some other things that will burn out between the various founders and co-founders. All these points are lead to failure the most of the startup companies. We overcome all these points, then we can successfully get into the startup, and we can business will be successful model. Thank you, sir.
Kaushik sir, this question on you. What are the different sectors which are attracting investors to invest their money? What are the different sectors, recent trends, and what are the very good sectors right now in the market?
Anything related to sustainability, all right? It can be electric vehicles, it can be hydrogen, fuel cells. So on the energy side, anything related to sustainability is one thing, and at the same time, recycling also is playing an important role because of not only plastic waste, there is so much of electronic junk which is piling up throughout the world. And at the same time, if you see on the sustainability side, people are encouraging solar cells, but solar cells lifetime is 25 years. So after 25 years, what happens to this solar junk? So nowadays, government, investors, all institutional investors are also thinking about waste management. Not only plastic, it is about electronic waste, solar junk, or whatever it is. So this is one sector every investor is focusing on. Obviously, the next sector would be deep tech. Because of the system improvements, AI is picking up like anything. Anything related to AI, anything related to IoT, whichever is data. Suppose IoT is collecting the data, drone is collecting the data. Anything which is collecting data, analysis of that data, if any startup is working on that, then they have good potential to raise funds. Anything working on recycling of electronic or solar junk has potential. And at the same time, anybody who is working on deep tech stands for everything, blockchain, on the software side. So if anybody is working on that, they have a full potential. And now if you see the country's trend also, India is looking to become a manufacturing hub, right? If anybody, any startup is working on manufacturing or semiconductor devices, startups who are working on semiconductor devices, they have a lot of benefits, right? So the investors are looking for deep tech, anything like regarding IoT, drone, which collects the data and data analysis with AI, and sustainability and recycling. So these are the important sectors which every investor is looking for.
Thank you, sir. And the question is on Dr. G. Srinivas Garu, CEO of Srikari Foundation, based in Arsapur. Sir, how you balance personal life and startup in starting stage of the company?
Yes, sir. It is very difficult to manage both the timing. But as point of view, managing academics as well as the startup, it is very difficult task. And it is actually in a startup also, we need to generate lot of revenue, as well as seed funding is required. I thank MSME, as I received the MSME grant support of 10.2 lakhs, as well as I thank our society for seed funding 1.8 lakhs. So based on that, I developed my prototype successfully and validated at third party level, TRL 4, 5, 6 completed, and I started to enter in MRL, and it is very good opportunity from the institute to faculty and students. Those who are really capable, institute is supporting in all the manner, and we are at a stage uh, at present entering into the market, and probably market survey as well as the uh, from the various sources. I'm trying to get a seed fund to start the full-fledged startup. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. If you have any
Thank you, sir.
question,
Thank you. Yeah. Sir, this question on Mr. Vishwanath from BRIT Hyderabad. Sir, Vishwanath, sir, are you there? Now it's question on Swaraj, Mr. Swaraj, CEO of Gaganyaan Aerospace. They are into drone and they are from BIT. They are doing innovations and they are one of the winners of SH 2023. And Swaraj, is innovations required for running a company?
Yeah. Hi, sir. My name is Sai Suraj. I'm the CEO of the Gaganyaan Aerospace. We are mainly focusing on the drone technologies. Uh, in the drone technologies, we want the innovation, sir. Like as we uh, see the difference between other technologies, the drone technologies is a major boom in the market. Uh, we can innovate the drones, like adding the extra features like lead feedback from the uh, long distances. Like that, if we innovate, then the investors will also come to our startup and they can also invest us. Like that, we can, if we innovate our product, we can get more chances in our daily competitors. We can overcome the competitors also.
And Suraj, how do you balance investor expectations on your company by your company's vision and goals?
Yeah, by like we have the goals, like we have some short-term goals and long-term goals for our company. Uh, to like we can give our daily task. We can uh, say our daily tasks, like how much work is completed uh, regarding this particular drone sectors. If we tell this every information to our investors, like that, we can balance, and we can see that that for the drones, there is most cost efficiency. So we can reduce the cost. Like in the markets, the cost is around 3 lakhs, but our drone can uh, have only 1.5 lakhs. Like that, we can balance the investors to stay on our company.
Sir, this is a question on Ashwin. Ashwin Garu, are you in line? Ashwin, sir.
Yes, sir.
Uh, what is the role do state and national policies plays in nurturing startups? And what are the recent policy changes that have been made to significant impact on the ecosystem?
Yes, sir. That's a good question. So as you know that so this is one of the IAC program, and like the same we have NIRF ranking and NAC. So nowadays, like what not only the state government, what government is looking into it, startup plays a pivotal role in empowering the ecosystem and also in the GDP. Like even if you see US, earlier it was only one Silicon Valley, which is in US, but now they call Bangalore also a Silicon Valley, through which we get more exposure and more good networking with other countries, and also like we are getting a good GDP growth. So
Vishwanath and
nowadays,
Lana?
in nowadays, government has fixed few regulations in which each and every college should have few startups, like in NIRF rankings, minimum one or two startups should be there, and if you if any startups have got investment and if they have exited, for that few marks are there, few credits are there. And nowadays in post in 5 to 10 years, the education system is about to change, and this incubation centers are very mandatory in each and every colleges. So in this way, innovation plays a vital role in policy schemes nowadays. Startup, like as you know, there are a few government initiatives like Startup India, MeitY, where they play a very good role in deploying the innovation. Earlier, it was not there. So 10 years or 15 years back, to get any innovation fund or investment, it should be from an VC or on investment banking. But nowadays, government is only investing. So under the radar of government, those schemes have been came, and as already our CEO sir mentioned, there are few other schemes like Nidhi Prayas, EIR, Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. So these schemes, let's say if any startups who are getting these schemes will impact in the college, sir. So directly these startups nowadays are helping the college reputation and increasing their so as even though like nowadays IAC they're more focused on innovation. So like they focus like how to bring the entrepreneurs rather than entrepreneurs, and slowly next entrepreneurs. So these kind of schemes really help our college and other ecosystem players, sir. Yeah.
Sir, this is a question on dietitian garu. Sir, these days we are hearing like unicorn startups. It's a buzzing word in startup ecosystem. Unicorn startups. What is meant by unicorn startups, sir, in your perception?
Sir, regarding this unicorn term, this can be coined by ILE in 2013 regarding these startups. The actual meaning of unicorn is the company value exceeds or equal to the $1 billion company value, then it is called it as a unicorn. So to get this high value of company value, the unicorns must having the some sort of characteristics must be followed. First one is high valuation. To get the high valuation and get the revenue in high value, and the company must be growing very fast. That is the second characteristic. Then only it is possible to get $1 billion of revenue is possible. And second one is innovative thinking. So due to this innovative thinking, it will be rapidly growing in the market and get the high valuation. Next one is most of the unicorns are invested by the private venture capitalists. So that, for example, the unicorns companies are Uber, SpaceX, like that. They are the for examples of unicorns. And what is the impact of the our national economy? Unicorns plays a very high impact on the national economy. So first of all, it will create a huge amount of jobs, huge number of jobs that can be created by unicorn companies, and also economic influence that influence the total national economy. These are the impacts on the national income, and not only unicorns, also decacorns. Decacorns means their company value is greater than or equal to $10 billion. And one more company that is called hectocorns is the value is $100 billion or more. So due to these companies, high valued companies that must face some sort of challenges. First one is sustainability. If it reaches the high valued company, that must maintain the same, and at the same time it will rapidly growing and faster to the next level. So it is the highest challenge to the unicorn or decacorn companies. That is the one important challenge, and market potential also required, and risk of overvaluation. All these are the some of the challenges regarding the this unicorn companies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And Mr. Vishnath Garu from BVRIT Hyderabad. This question on you, sir. How to grab fundings from to strengthen your startups?
Very good morning, Narasimha Garu. Actually, I am not. I am unavailable at the campus. Actually, just joined from the outside. Okay. So when coming to already Kaushik sir was mentioned earlier before starting the session, what are the some of the opportunities how to get the funds from the capitals or angel investors. So initially my suggestion is to participate in MSME hackathons. So last year it is conducted, and our some of the institutes out of four grab 15 lakh funding. So like that, initially we just go to that, but we have a wonderful opportunity that that is TBI. We should directly approach them initially with Ashwin or Kaushik sir. So they will help initially. So later on the stages, based on the level of the startup, we need to go through the hackathons and like that. Yes, sir. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Now it's question on Mr. Vishnu. How do you balance and what are the biggest challenges you have faced in your early stage when you have started your startup, and what are the challenges you have, how you have overcome these challenges also?
Yes, sir. Overcoming my first I'll let you know what are the challenges I faced during my startup. Finding a good team is my biggest challenge, sir. Till now, I am searching for my team. I did not find any consistent people while gathering a team. There are few people like coming today and working 1 week and they are going back. Even I have gathered a people around 10 to 13 people to work on a single product. Every day they are not with the same interest. They are not passionate on a single thing and they are not working. They are like demotivating and motivating and working on here and there. They are moving on. So the main struggle which I faced in like finding teams are once a good team is formed, we can go and reach a more heads. That was my biggest challenge. Now I have a good team with three people I am working, sir. This is my biggest challenge when I'm gathering and working on my team. That was the major challenge I have faced till now. Remaining all is going good. And as well, when I am spending money on investing, I have sometimes when we are buying some sensors without proper planning, we have brought some other sensors. For lack of planning, we have misused the funds also. Like it's all that's it. Like lack of planning, we have learned somewhat how to plan before buying something for our startup. These two things which was faced many. Yes.
Thank you, Vishnu. Sir, Ashwin sir, this question on you. As an accelerator, as a TBI, tell us how important mentorship is in developing the startups.
Okay. That's really a good question and a wanted question for this session. So the first thing is, let's say we are going to US. So we all are an Indian resident. So let's say we are going to US. Can we navigate without a map? Which is impossible because we don't know anything in US. Like we don't know what are the street shops or something. So what happens literally is like mentorship is a kind of map. So why mentorship is essential is an example. Let's say there was a team who came to me and they said, "Sir, actually, I'm very good in coding. So I want to build an application for delivering like Rapido or kind of thing in Bhimavaram campus." So I said, you are very good in coding. That's okay. But what is the need? So let's say since you are good in a part, you cannot develop a product and sell it sell it in the market. So that's what happening in the startup ecosystem. Innovators or student entrepreneurs, what they are doing, so they are getting that startup ecosystem vibe, and kind of like they're like, okay, we also want to do some startup, and they're getting that interest. That is pretty good, appreciable. But the thing is how they take it further. So here comes the mentorship. Mentorship helps them properly. So an example, like if they don't register the company and if they apply for any schemes, they will not be even considered. Example, we can take big grant. So if you are applying for big grant, nowadays, if you register the company only, they will at least consider you. So there are many things. So in registrations also, not just a GST registration or MSME Udayam. Minimum we have to do an LLP or a private limited. Without these two registration, you cannot say yourself as a startup. So there are few other things which a startup should be mandatorily see, like registration, like IP, and a proper pitch deck. So let's say when a pitch deck comes, when they go for an investor pitch, they don't properly do storytelling. So those kind of things, literally, like let's say they might have been a good opportunity, but they would have lost it. So this mentorship will help them in all the way. Like as a technology business incubator, we make sure that they are fed with the proper support in each and every stage. So in this way, we help the startups to grow further. And also, like I would like to tell another investment process generally. Like, so as we got Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, worth of 5 crores. So generally, how an investment process goes on is like it's not only in incubator, and also it is generally how an VC or how an angel investors evaluate the startups. So initially, what happens? We get the applications. And let's say generally we get almost 100 or 50 applications, and it shortlist up to 5, and the investment is on 1 or 2 startups. But when we go to the investor or venture capitalist or investment banking, they get lakhs and lakhs of applications. Let's say per month only they would have got 5,000 startups, or per day a VC might get minimum 50 emails about their pitch deck. So we should be very, like, we should properly do the elevator pitch. What is elevator pitch, and how to impress the VC at the first shot only. So always first impression is a good impression. So once we pitch about our product, then what we will have a second sitting. So they will discuss further about the technology and IP. Once that is done, then the third thing, due diligence. So even though if the investor is ready to invest, if the due diligence legal team, if they doesn't given like a good signal, the investor will drop off. Like the due diligence is one of the example is like they will see whether you are employed in some other organizations or not, whether you are directors for some other company or not. So these kind of things they look into it. And there are more. Due diligence is a C. Like I'm just telling one or two couple of points which majorly they see. So these are the points which as an investor sees. So after due diligence, and then we have to do some ROC filings and MGT 14 filings. Once that is done, the funds will be disbursed. Generally, we think so we got the funds, the game is over. But the thing is, the game starts there only. Getting funds is not an easier task, but after getting funds only, the real game starts. Like we should see the proper exit. So now the investor is on the board. So he will be seeing like what is the how you are giving an exit to us. So all those things we have to keep in mind. Yeah.
Sir Chandrababu Garu, this question on you. What is the need of teamwork in establishing a very good startup?
Yeah. So firstly, I'm thankful to Narasimhan sir, and good morning, respected panel members. So I am Chandrababu. So yeah, the question is need of teamwork. Yes. So teamwork is very important for any kind of work execution. So not only related to startup or entrepreneurship. So if the team is not built properly, So most of the cases why startups are fails means, so they are not selecting, one of the factor is not selecting proper team also. So some are required software skills, some are required designing skills, some are required marketing or business model development skills, presentation skills. So these are all required for running any organization. That means any entrepreneur, company or a startup. So if any one person lag, that will affect entire team. So team efforts are very important to run the startup. If you consider design thinking also, so design thinking 5 stages are there. So to implement design thinking process effectively, to success of the particular startup, so teamwork is very need at every factor. So there are so many methods are there. So different gateways, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, 3D models, 5D models are there. So at every point, teamwork is very important. So without teamwork, one person cannot execute the anything. I hope that it's true. So, for example, if the startup company having only one person, so he may not take proper decision sometimes. So sometimes he cannot execute the things alone. So he cannot only alone develop the product. So he cannot only alone create a business model. So if a proper teamwork is there, so every person having some network and some skills, utilize that skills, combinedly win-win opportunity will create, and that will helpful to grow the organization or startup or any company. So it is my view on the teamwork need for any company. Nasimraj.
Sir, do you feel any opportunities for women entrepreneurs are there in our system right now? Any special events or special kind of things so as to encourage women entrepreneurs in India? Sir, this question on Ashwin sir.
So can you just tell me 1 second, sir? Like, what are the schemes available
What
for
are
women
the
entrepreneurs, right?
schemes especially there for women entrepreneurs?
Okay, good. So actually, like, there are a few schemes like even last time MSME hackathon was happened. It is in the concept of woman founders only. Rather than specific schemes, nowadays, if a woman-led founder is there, the importance which the investor gives is more. Let's say an example, even whatever investments we have made till now, we almost made 10 investments. Out of that, 3 investors are women founders. So whenever the ISMC, like we have a committee called Incubator Seed Management Committee, who evaluate the final applicant. So once the applicant comes, when the women founders they pitch in the right manner, they have a good opportunity. Like first of all, in ISMC, they think, okay, being a woman, they are doing good startups. Like, why don't we support them? So those kind of sentiment is always there in investors also. But at the same time, like we have to justify ourselves. There are many schemes and many opportunities available, but the women founders have to justify them that they can sustain the investment and they can bring the return on investment. So that is very good thing which they have to follow up. And there is a special scheme called Mark, where it is also like Startup India, from the Startup India, where they give special importance to women founders. And also nowadays there are many organizations who are focusing on women founders, like even VCs. They run some cohorts and through which they take the women founders and they invest them. Even in Startup India, there are few programs exclusively for women founders. So those kind of opportunities, like we have to be updated with Startup India seed fund scheme, and we have to be keep on following the MeitY portal. So we'll be keep on getting some notifications. So using that, we can get to know more about those schemes. Like basically the schemes vary. That's what I'm trying to tell. Yeah. Over to you, Narasimhan sir, Doctor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your kind support. I thank Kaushik sir and Ashwin sir